I'm going to introduce some things that you said last time.
All right, please. The people that make these games don't think like me and you. They don't care about entertainment value. All they care about is the bottom line and selling these video games.
And I didn't think to say at the time, we're talking about an M-rated Batman game.
Right.
So it's like, it's the subject in itself is already counter-arguing what you're saying there.
Well, the fact that they don't care about the content and that they're all about selling the bottom line?
They are demonstrating they care about the content by making an M-rated Batman game.
No. Don't get it twisted. I know everybody's got like this business with the heart of gold mentality, but it's a business first, and they do care about the bottom line first. I don't care how much all y'all fanboys think they care about the customer first. No, this is a business. We live in America, all right? Get out of your little dreamy fantasy, because if they don't make a bottom line, if they don't make an expected amount of money, then they're not going to get an opportunity to make another project. So their number one priority is turning a profit.
All right. Okay.
So they want to make sure little Billy, who's 8 and 9 years old, doesn't have his mind blown completely when Batman jumps out from the darkness and cracks somebody's neck and you see a bunch of spinal fluid squirting out the back. It's just not good. Just forcing that type of violence on them is it can be a little unnecessary, especially when you're dealing something that's a comic book character.
So you're sounding kind of like, old man there, like concerned about the little kids and what they're exposed to. So hold on. So someone on our YouTube channel was like, look, Batman used to kill people.
Yeah.
He used to kill people all the time.
You know what?
And you were like, well, Batman's been around since the 40s, and people kind of built up this association with him that he's not violent and this and that. So I pulled up this article. Here are 6 things that people don't realize about Batman. I'm going to read this to y'all.
This should be good.
Okay. Number 6, Batman hangs a mental patient from the bat plane. Number 1, issue number 1 in 1940. Okay. Number 5. Batman crushes people to death in junkyards. Various issues. Not one issue, various issues.
So that was like his spot, the junkyard spot. So after he like ties you with the batarang, he's like, man, don't make me take you to the junkyard.
Number 4, Batman hates Asian people and cars and kills both. Various issues. He is racist.
He doesn't like Asians? No. Holy shit. All right, this must be like pre-World War II. I mean, like post-World War II.
No, well, Pearl Harbor was around. So when I saw he hated Asians, I laughed out loud so hard. I was like, this guy is my idol. Because someone asked me the other day, who's your favorite superhero? And my first response was Cole McGrath from Infamous 2. But then they're like, well, what about from a comic book, like an actual comic book? Mm-hmm. So then I said Batman. Batman is just, I don't know why, but Batman has been the guy that's always appealed to me growing up. At one point, I thought it was Spider-Man, but then Sam Raimi kind of messed up Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah. So I've gone back to Batman. Batman's my favorite.
Okay, it's horrible that he doesn't like Asian people. That's just terrible. But how are you gonna hang a mental patient from outside of like the Batwing?
He's being efficient.
Wow.
Number
Batman
3,
is an asshole.
Batman pushes a dude into a sword. Detective Comics number 37 in 1940.
I think he like slipped and accidentally pushed him into
Number
the sword.
2, Batman locks a villain underground and starves him. Batman number 420, 1988.
Okay, maybe he was doing like a one of those.
That's the 80s, dude. That's the 80s. You and I, that's post our birth.
Batman's an asshole. Okay, but
Number one. Batman lets some thieves burn to death as he gets laid. All-Star Batman and Robin number 7, 2007.
Now that's just gangster. Come on, man. He's over
as he gets laid.
He's tapping some ass and he's just watching them get crispy. That's kind of gangster.
He's watching them get crispy.
I'm just saying. Oh my goodness, Batman. All right, so I stand corrected. The original origins of Batman is he's a really jacked up individual.
So all this business about him not killing people is bullshit. All right, so we just posted episode 2 yesterday, so we didn't get too many votes or comments on that. I'm going to start with episode 1, comments.
Nope.
Real quick, the thing that got voted up the most, that people agreed with the most, was an M-rated Batman game. People are happy with that. Second place is they agree with having a black Spider-Man.
Yes!
So, this is from Geezer8. On the Wesley Snipes talk, both Marvel and DC owe the man for making both for the company's success right now Wesley started promoting on the first Blade at, I think is what he's saying, is at the San Diego Comic-Con. And we see where that has grown to. Made an obscure Marvel character relevant and kicked off the vampire movies, Underworld, and many others. And look at the picture of Wesley from Demolition Man, and look at Aqualad from Young Justice, and tell me that the character design wasn't modeled after him.
They got the same haircut.
Okay, I'm glad
Same
you know
style,
I'm glad you know what he's talking about, because I'm like, that went over my head a little bit.
Yeah, man, the new Justice League is dope, man. It's on Netflix. You should check it out.
Is it a
blow your
cartoon?
head back. Yeah, it's a cartoon. It's good too, and they I think they only did like 3 seasons too.
The cartoons today just kind of bother me a lot. They all look so like nothing. The last good cartoon was from when I was a kid. Fox 11's Spider-Man, Fox 11's X-Men. Now, it may vary for you guys who live in different parts of the country or the world, but when I was growing up in the 90s, Fox 11's Spider-Man and Fox 11 X-Men. The way those cartoons looked was just the coolest. I don't know why. I still go back to that because I look on Netflix now, and the new X-Men's and the new Spider-Mans and the new Justice Leagues, they all look like these weird, blocky, half-assed characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I making any sense, or am I sounding crazy?
No. You are making sense, but you know me, man. I'm a hound for story, and the story has gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot more adult because I think the people that are writing for these cartoons are realizing that it's not just 9 and 10-year-old kids watching these cartoons anymore. We actually have like adults watching them. So the story is starting to get a little bit more adult oriented instead of just let's go save Billy and his kitty from being stuck in the tree. They're dealing with like real like issues now.
All right. Well, it doesn't look good.
So what would you rather have? Would you rather have something that looks good or something that that gets you story wise?
My answer to that is Avatar. It looks good and it's awesome. It's an awesome story. You can do both.
Right.
So. All right, so there's like this big conversation happening around a black Spider-Man. So let's go through this real quick. Firefly Falafel said, I disagree with making established superheroes a different skin color, and I am black. It's lazy writing, and it usually lasts for a run, and then everybody forgets about them. If you take this route, there will never be a hero as iconic as Superman, because he'll never be as good as white Superman if you made him black. As much as I like Miles Morales, he is nowhere near as iconic as Peter Parker, and even with the Spider-Man name, he isn't selling as well. For a counterpart, look at the comics and see how many minorities they have in each of their best-selling, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on to talk about the other ethnic superheroes and that or ethnic comic book characters. All
right, so there are pros and cons to what he's saying. I do agree with him that you shouldn't just force a minority character just for the sake of doing it. And I also agree.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that, but
well, I mean, just for the sake of doing it, I don't know. I don't know. Perfect example is.
I know what you're gonna say.
Would you make Peter Parker black?
Hell yeah.
No, why?
Because it hasn't been done.
That's what you got Miles for.
If you look at the Incredible Hulk, okay, if you look at him in the comics, he looks nothing like he does in the movies anymore. Bruce Banner doesn't look like the way he does in the comics. He's like a different kind of shade of white.
Okay, but doing it just for the sake of doing it is just...
Okay, if I retract that. Okay, but I know it's like I think you should look at who the best actor is.
Okay, I agree with that.
But
Miles is his own thing. He was already established as this minority, so why not just accept it? And my argument against Peter Parker being more popular than Miles is that Peter Parker has had like 60 years to develop. Miles has had, 5-6 years? A lot of people, there's a very, very large group of people that don't even know Miles exists. But everybody on the planet knows who the hell Peter Parker is.
That's why I'm saying make him black. That's why, because you know who he is. I agree with Annie being black. I agree with Daddy Warbucks.
Oh, when Jamie Foxx is playing Daddy Warbucks.
I agree with him being black.
Well, Black Annie, that's I don't know. That's a little bit different.
How is that any different? That is an established fucking classic that's been around since before you and I were born. How is that different?
Well, I don't know, because it's Annie. I don't think anybody really gives a shit about Annie.
I care about Annie. Tomorrow. All right, so the second response, this guy's name is Psychic Trolling. As a white guy, I'd love a black Spidey, the same way they do a second-generation Ant-Man in the new Ant-Man movie they could do with Spider-Man, and with Tobey wanting to be in the MCU, it's easier than ever. Tobey Maguire?
That's what I'm assuming he's talking about.
Easier than ever. Make him a mentor for Miles.
So he's talking about ushering him in and then like bringing in like Peter Parker as the white dude, and then he like brings in Miles, and then maybe kill off.
I don't
Peter.
think they should ever bring back Tobey Maguire ever.
Well, he's
ever.
way too old. Plus he
Ever.
looks odd now.
I liked Andy Garfield or whatever his name is. I thought he was cool.
It was okay.
So this is from W7100. If it's Miles, okay. If it's a Black Peter, depends on how that comes about.
Okay, I got a question. What's so wrong with having Peter or Miles look like a kid? Why do we have to have these adults playing these roles? I mean, a child can carry a series. And then why can't you just have the series age with the child? I mean, Harry Potter's a perfect example. Those are kids, and they carried the movie. Another, one of the greatest classic kids movies of all time, The Never-Ending Story. The entire movie is carried by children. And it does just fine. Why can't we have, if you want to stick to the purity of the canon, let's have some kids play it. I mean, it would be interesting. I've never seen a kid play Peter Parker. Can you imagine a kid, a little 15, 16-year-old kid going up against the likes of this monstrous Green Goblin? That adds a whole different type of tension to the whole scene.
I have no response. I guess I agree with you. I'm trying not to say I agree with you 100% because I looked at the last 2 episodes and I said that like 12 times.
Yeah, I mean, just
No, I
have
agree
a
with you,
kid
man.
do it.
I agree with you.
All right.
Benjot Sumal. Good if he has his own character arc instead of just being a Black Peter Parker. I don't know that much about Miles, and there have been too many origin stories for Peter Parker recently. At least for Batman, there was at least 20 years since we saw his origin story again, but with Spider-Man, Sony acted like we had a short-term memory loss and didn't remember Spider-Man's origins from the movies that came out a couple of years before.
Okay.
Hold on. The only problem I have with Spider-Man movie is that if it pushed back movies like Captain Marvel, Inhumans, and Black Panther, which are that was a period there, which are arguably more interesting characters because we haven't seen them as much.
Okay. See, okay, and to add to his point, okay, let's just say there was like this big, gigantic, like hoo-ha, I can't believe I say hoo-ha, this whole big thing about making Batman black. Like, we would need to have a black Batman just for the sake of having a black Batman, okay? Would you rather have a black Batman or a Black Panther movie? Now, Black Panther is a very interesting character, dope character.
Sure.
Who is also African-American, in case you don't know.
Sure.
And you're not forcing the race issue, but you do have a character who's based on that minority that is an excellent character. Which would you rather have? Would you rather have a Black Batman or a Black Panther movie? I would rather have a Black Panther movie.
I'd rather have a Black Batman.
You'd rather have a Black
I'd
Batman?
rather have a Black Batman because Batman is a well-established hero, and having a Black Batman would be totally unprecedented. It would be totally unexpected. It would slam 80 years of history in the face and be like, "Look what we did." But the thing is, it has to be good. It can't just be a Black Batman and then he's ghetto or something. It's like it's got to be a really good movie. It's got to be a good edition of Batman. If they were able to pull it off, that would completely change the landscape.
So we would have like a Black Batman and a Mexican Robin.
That would be so fucking cool.
Get up outta here.
God, that would be so awesome. Hey, Batman.
So let me guess, the Batmobile would be on hydraulics?
How are you doing, Batman?
You're an asshole.
Would you like some tacos?
So I guess the Joker would be like Vietnamese or something.
Oh my God, that would be perfect. And it should be based in like 19 fucking. When did Vietnam happen? It was like the 70s.
What?
Dude, they should do like a retro Batman. Have him black. He's like I heard stories like the Lone Ranger. Was it the Lone Ranger? Was actually not white. He was like Chinese or black. Something like they don't actually know what his ethnicity was.
Now,
It
if
could
the
be
Lone
like the
Ranger
Lone
was
Ranger.
Chinese, that would be dope because that could tie into the railroads coming in, and he's like a part-time worker on the railroads, and then him and Tonto go out.
Okay, now,
see, that's dope.
Transcend that to 1970s now.
Okay.
When it's just past Martin Luther King's death.
Okay.
And there's still racial tension. It's really harsh. Someone has to come out of the woodwork and put this crime to bed, right?
Okay.
A black man steps up. He dons the bat cape, and he's got a Mexican sidekick.
You see the look on my face, right? You talking about like post-Civil War? I mean, post-Civil rights?
Dude, it would be perfect timing. I think we need a black Batman. I wasn't even thinking of that.
Let's
move on.
I can't even get my mind right together even to say any funny or witty off of that because it's so absurd.
I'm pretty sure the comments are gonna blow up with like "fuck you, Jabykoay." That's stupid.
It's retarded. But you know what? I can't lie. If it was made, I'd watch it. You damn right I would watch it just to see the shenanigans unfold.
A Vietnamese Joker. That would be amazing.
Gosh,
And you know who should play him is the Asian guy from Hangover. The Hangover. He's a fucking crazy guy.
He's too short.
Vietnamese people are short in general.
But in the comic, the Joker is like,
Right?
he looks like he's like 6'3" or something. He looks like he's about as tall
Who
as
gives
Joker.
a shit? Bane was like 8 feet tall in the comics.
I mean, if he was like the Penguin and you're like 5'2", then yeah, I get that.
That's fucked up.
I'm just saying. I mean, you can't have the Joker jumping out of the back of somebody's truck with his dick hanging out. You ain't seen The Hangover? That's what he did.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like that was a stretch, man. It went over my head. From Chris Moore, very good show. Make more of these, please. Maybe a weekly show. We'll do Chris Moore.
We'll try to make you happy, Chris.
Arctic Taco, LOL, loved the tape up laptops. More where that came from.
Like an S now? Hold on.
Blader G.
Yeah.
Blader G. I don't fucking know what this guy's name is. This was awesome, guys. Great, interesting topics. Thumbs up. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. So, Joe Sire, number one. I disagree with Syntell on Batman. Rocksteady Studios cares more about the story than the money. That's why the game is M. When they realized that the game was going to be rated M, they had the option of pulling out key story parts to make a T game, but they decided that the story was more important than the rating. Number two. Okay, I have no problem with Miles Morales being in the MCU. I have a problem with him replacing Peter Parker. Number three. Obama is smart. Obama is the worst president in the United States history. He spent more money than all the previous presidents combined. What the fuck? And that Obamacare is going over real well. Haha, Obama plays golf well. That Vladimir Putin laughs at him. I would much rather have Dr. Ben Carson as our president. That man would lead our country in the right direction. Who's Ben Carson?
Comic book character, isn't he?
I don't know. Anyway.
To the Googles.
I think the response regarding Obama spending a lot of money, more money than any other president,
God, I feel retarded.
is
I should know this.
If you look historically at, it has to do with inflation. It's like if you go dollar for dollar, making all things even, Obama's actually spent less money, I think. I might have my facts wrong, but I think he spent less money. Or consistently, every president before him has continued to spend more and more money. I forget what the argument is, but there was a validation to Obama spending the money he's spending.
If I get on my Obama speech box, we'll be here all day. All right. So I'm not going to do it. I respect the man's opinion. I don't agree with it. But if we drag into some politics, we're gonna be here forever, and we're gonna lose fans. And I'm trying to save y'all.
Okay, so just a real quick thank you from Hell. That's his name, for introducing the information about Batman being a dick in the 1940s. This is half my Jesus.
Okay.
What a weird
half
name.
My Jesus.
Spider-Man's been. This is a long one. Spider-Man's been in publication since 1962, so 53 years of Peter Parker and that character in general. Miles Morales has been around for less than 4. Mm-hmm. So call me when he passes a single decade, let's say, and we'll have the discussion about whether or not he's indispensable to the overall Spider-Man myth or a fucking flash in the pan. Ooh. How do you feel about that? Before I go on, how do you feel about what he's saying there?
Well, I mean, there is elements of truth to what he's saying. There's a lot of truth to it. There isn't a large body of work for Miles to be compared, side by side directly with Peter. However, we've been going on with the Peter canon for so long. It's time for a change up, and if Marvel's willing to make that change up, then why shouldn't we?
Right. He continue. Half Mud Jesus continues. Rabid fanboys or girls who come in, hop on a new character they like, and think it's totally justified to supplant decades upon decades of another established character by taking over for them. Kind of irk me. Pay your dues, Miles Morales. You don't get to just replace classic Spider-Man in the pop culture because a vocal minority of fans think it's an idea whose time has come.
But that sounds like that old man on the cane sitting on the porch again, talking about this is the way it's been done for this many years, and this is the way it's going to continue.
My response to that is, a book can come out and then instantly be made into a movie. There's no reason a new comic book character can't just come out and then be made into a movie if it's successful, if it's popular, if people like it. It's like, how long was it before Harry Potter was made into a movie? 4 years. How long was it before Hunger Games was made into a movie? About 2-3 years. It's like it's not that long before it's turned around because people can bank on that. They can make money off of it. So if people are liking Miles Morales, I don't know if they are.
I think he's having like moderate success, moderate fame. There just hasn't been a big plug on it because like outside of people that are just into the comics, into comics themselves, you don't really see Marvel making a big push to expose the fact that there is another Spider-Man. I mean, I don't see any type of merchandising with his face on it whatsoever. I don't see no coffee cups, no mugs, no action figures, no nothing. There's like zero push. And you could say the same thing for other change up in the Marvel universe. Like there's a female Thor now.
Yeah.
There's been no push, no product, no merch, no nothing. There's a black Captain America that's coming out.
Yeah.
Same thing. You know, if you're gonna make these big gigantic steps of change and totally change the entire universe in itself, you've got to get the word out. And the best way to get the word out is the movie medium. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
There's no more racism, dude. We got a black president.
Fuck out of here with that. It's absolute racism in this piece.
Rather than making... That's always the response. That's the Bill O'Reilly response. Rather than making everyone feel awesome by offering a bunch of ethnically diverse Spider-Man, I mean, seriously, why not have Asian Spider-Man or Middle Eastern Spider-Man or Native American Spider-Man while you're at it? Let's have a multi-fucking cultural Spider-Man for everyone along the way. Why don't we? Maybe try giving the love to cool minority superheroes who have been shat on for years and years in terms of being important to the stories Marvel and DC do.
I think he's pretty much saying kind of what I was saying earlier. It's like, don't force it. You know, there's no need to have, you know, an Asian Spider-Man per se if it doesn't fit the storyline that's already been established. So Miles Morales is already this person. He's already this demographic. Why not continue it? It's like, why have like a Native American Batman if there's no call for it? You know, you're forcing something that doesn't necessarily have to be. Instead,
Native American Batman would be awesome.
No, you know what? If there's any Native American superhero that should be, it should be a Native American Captain America, because it doesn't get any more American than Native American. But anyways, you should push stuff like for African Americans, push Black Panther, push the Blade series, push Falcon as a character. There's a lot of different characters.
He actually said Falcon.
Yeah.
He said, give me Falcon, not as Captain America, but as an important character in his own right who does stuff in the Marvel Universe that matters.
And I agree with that. I do completely agree with that. If forcing it is just silly if there's no cause for it, unless, and only dealing with in movies for the most part, if somebody is so charismatic that they just make it work. Hence, somebody like Idris Elba being like James Bond.
All the things you're saying, he actually says here. He says kind of like Luke Cage, Black Panther should pretty much always have his own comic. Blade should be at least appearing in Marvel's comic every month.
I agree.
I applaud Storm for having her own comic. Oh, this guy agrees with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like Lupita would be the perfect Storm. I don't know why she wasn't cast, but oh well.
This guy, Firepower. By the way, don't read the follow-up comic Dark Knight Strikes Back. It's a piece of shit compared to The Dark Knight Returns. Thank you, Firepower. I saw 3 stars on Amazon for that, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it. No. Slade, the Deathstroke. From what I've heard from Doctor Strange 2016 and Beyond Marvel films won't be origin stories, so we won't get a Spider-Man origin story. By now, the audience know the story just like Batman. Flashbacks are okay. Batman vs. Superman will have flashbacks on Affleck's Batman, but that's it. Conan did a great bit, by the way, on Batman versus Superman. He's like, what is Batman going to do? Superman can fly. Batman has to repel, right?
Right.
I mean, Superman shoots laser beams out of his eyes and can take bullets. Batman works out.
I think the strength of Batman is that if given enough time, he's an expert strategist. And given enough time, he can take whatever strength that you have and use it against you. It's just that he's smarter than his average opponent.
According to Superman Returns, Superman can pick up a planet full of kryptonite. Did you see the end of the movie? He picked up after Kevin Spacey. Not only did he pick up a planet full of kryptonite, but Kevin Spacey stabbed him with kryptonite.
Yeah, but you're quoting Superman Returns.
Yeah, I know.
Horrid.
Hey, man, it's there forever now.
Movie.
It's there
How
forever.
are you gonna have a damn movie and there's no supervillain to battle? You're battling a bunch of rocks. That just remember when we had the argument about the strength of a good movie lies on the antagonist, on the villain. You have to have a good villain in order for you to have like these superhero movies to work. If you don't have a good villain, then it's crap. That's why we like the Joker.
Wasn't it Lex Luthor?
Yeah, but Superman wasn't battling him directly, per se.
He got stabbed. That's pretty direct. If I shank you right now, isn't that direct?
He fought a mountain full of rocks, and nobody gave a damn.
Blader G, I think with Spider-Man should be Peter Parker, but make him older and experienced, introduce the origin and then title flashbacks, and get into Civil War, then eventually make a Death of Spider-Man movie, slightly changed because it's not Ultimate, so that Miles Morales can be introduced. Thank you, Blader G.
Yeah.
I think we covered that. Okay, the baby wipes thing.
Forgot about the baby wipes.
Do Americans not have bidets? That is fucking nasty. I can't take a shit without being crispy clean afterwards.
Krispy Kreme.
That's from Firefly Falafel.
You know what? Bidets are something that probably that does need to be brought into American culture. I don't understand why they're not here. It just makes sense.
Bidets do not take the place of baby wipes.
You got a jet of water shooting up your ass.
It's not the same.
It's less effort and it's cleaner because you're not even using your hand to knock off the chunks. You just sit on it. The water, bing, 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 knocks it off. You know, a little pat with some regular toilet paper, not even a baby wipe. Drop and leave.
All right.
I'd rather have a bidet.
No. Okay,
than to use some baby wipes.
Instead of using,
they're not even flushable.
Hold on. Instead of using a soap bar on your body, because I know you're old school and use soap bars. I use the Japanese soap rag.
Jesus Christ! If you got any gayer,
that's fucked up. Don't call that gay. Call that effeminate. Effeminate. We are politically correct on this show.
Oh my gosh! There's nothing politically incorrect about calling somebody gay. I didn't use the.
Are you
word.
a homophobe? Do you not like gay people?
I will choke you. I love gay people.
Oh my God, it gets better.
You know, I hate it when people say this. I hate it when people say this in the other term. But I've got gay friends.
I know.
Okay?
I know. That's what I say whenever someone calls me racist. I've got black friends.
But I do have gay friends, man. I mean, damn.
You can't use that as a
You
thing.
can use the word gay.
No, but
gay is not politically incorrect.
But you can't defend yourself by saying, I've got gay friends.
I know. That's why. I mean, I'm saying that because I'm trying to be an asshole about it. I've got gay friends, and calling you gay is.
What
not
I was going to
bad.
say was this: if you use the soap bar, correct?
Right.
Okay. So if instead they could just shoot jets of soap at you and then jets of water, would you do that instead? It's not the same. Don't even fucking say anything. It's not the same. You need friction. There needs to be friction to get the dirt out. Just shooting water at you is not going to fucking clean the shit out of your asshole. You need baby wipes.
Well, it's better than the alternative of just having just an old dry ass piece of toilet paper and you over there jamming and trying to get the Klingons out. I'm just saying it would be a hell of a lot easier if bathrooms had bidets.
Okay, let's move on. I'm going to get sick. So this is in response to another 3D Zelda game. Firefly Falafel. Man, these guys are responding a lot. Thank you, Firefly Falafel, for participating. Check out the Witcher series for realism and consequences of your actions. Witcher 3 is coming out soon, and it's going to be great.
I never played the Witcher series. You?
No. No. Joe Sire responds again. I completely agree with you guys. I would love more old school Zelda game.
Yes.
That's singular. But Nintendo has to think about the profit that they would make from the game. Kids nowadays are not going to play what you guys played when you were kids.
I disagree.
You know what I mean? The graphics have to be super realistic for kids to play anything now. And then he backtracks and goes, with the exception of Minecraft. So I doubt we'll ever get a non-3D Zelda game, which is incorrect.
But
because
Minecraft is 3D.
That's incorrect because we have a Link Between Worlds for the 3DS. And there's a whole slew of Zelda games for the DS, but for some reason they restrict it to the handheld devices. They don't have non-3D Zelda games for console.
I think a kid or anybody will play anything as long as it's fun.
But it's also New Super Mario Brothers. That's not 3D, that's 2D. Right? It's a side scroll. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I do remember Super Mario Brothers, and I do know the new ones that are coming out. That's what I'm saying. As long as it's fun, work on the fun first, deal with the graphics later. And I think 3D Worlds are starting to get a little overdone.
Josh Lucio says, he's got two things here. Don't hate, but I liked Skyward Sword. I know it was linear, I think is what he means to say.
Yeah.
But I love the story and controls. Anyways, I love the characters' personalities. I love The Legend of Zelda, but a lot of people love Majora's Mask, but I honestly like it that much. I think he says, I think he meant I don't like it that much. So here's my thing. Here's my response.
Okay.
I don't mind when people like something a lot, except when you like something, because then I have to fucking battle you. But I appreciate when people like things because it would otherwise just be a grand waste of money and time and effort. I like when people like things that I hate. I like when people enjoy it, even if I don't like it, because that means it's not wasted money entirely. But when you have things like, the only time I would counter that is with something like Transformers. It's like they're spending. I don't want to even get into it, but I hate
talking about the movie,
when people
right?
say they like
Obviously.
Transformers. It kind of irks me.
Well, most people that say they like it weren't in the generation with the old school Transformers that we had. Even the toys were better back then.
But just even on a fundamental level of what makes a movie good.
Well, people now just like to see the pretty flashing lights and the explosions, and it's got nothing but that.
Last one, Corey McPherson. Cool. It's good to see your discussion on these types of topics. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, man. We'll continue our bidet discussion.
I'm gonna bidet your fucking face.
I got to get a bidet in my apartment.
All right, that's enough of that. Thanks, you guys. Subscribe. Check out our next episode. Have a great day. Bye-bye.